Hi, you guys. You are working on drawing 4.8. So let's take a look here. This is one of the more complex ones that you're going to be doing because of all of these fillets and angles and such. So let's take a look here. Our thickness is 1.5. Overall, we're, a little over 6 inches by 7 inches. But I'm going to show you a definite different way of creating this part. Please keep in mind there's always more than one way to create a part. I'm just going to give you a suggestion on how it works for me. So let's start our sketch. Now, I don't want to create a big extruded rectangle and then try to cut this shape out. I'm going to do this all in one sketch. So let's start this. Draw a line. My line going straight up is 6.13. And let's kind of move some stuff over here so we can see everything. Now I'm going to come across the 7.25 to this edge. So 7.25. And I'm going to come down. So here we can see it's 1.51 to the tip of this. Let me zoom in so you can see up here. And so 1.51. Let me add that constraint. There we go. Okay, I'm going to come down here. Actually, I want to, using lines, just mimic the shape of this. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to do an angle, and then I'm going to come up, come down, I'm going to go over, and then I'm going to come down. And let's close this off. Okay, so my logic behind this is that we can fillet these edges and dimension them as we fillet them, and it will somewhat hold shape. So let's see how this works out. Let's go ahead and come up to fillet. The first one is 0.63, so I'm going to change that. And then I'm going to click on this corner. We can already see that it changed quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and bring it up just to try to maintain that shape in here. The two dimensions from the center all the way to the left side is 7.13. So let's add that. So from here to here, 7.13. And yes, the shape went a little wonky again, so let's just kind of sit tight for a second. And then we can see that from the center to this top edge is 2.26. Okay, I'm going to try dragging this over to see if we can maintain a shape here. And you can see how it's affecting this. Your goal is to try to keep the shape a little bit here. Okay. Let's go ahead and add our dimension here, the 0.12. So from here to here is 0.12. Okay. Our next fillet is 0.38. Before I do that, I'm going to move this a little bit to make sure I have room for that fillet. So 0.38 looks great. Let's add some dimensions to go with that. The center of this center line is showing me that it's lined up with this edge. So I want to do a constraint, and I'm going to do vertical. So this is vertical with this, and it pops it over. And I know that we have a distance between both of these of 1.05. Center to center, 1.05. Looks great. Our next fillet is 0.31. And we know that this is 0.37 off the edge. You can see that right here. So from the edge to here, 0.37. And then between these two center marks is 0.63. So let's select that center and this center. Okay, we're going to hit cancel, and we'll have to see what is preventing us from doing that. Let's go ahead and come down, and we have 1.5. This line went vertical. That could have been what the problem is. So I'm going to see, is it going to let me drag it crooked? No, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this line, you guys, and move this over and put a new line back in. And then let's go, I'm doing a dimension from the center to the point, which is 1.5. There we go. Now let's see if it's going to let us do this. No. Okay, let's go ahead and add a tangent onto here. That looks great. Okay. When we try to add this dimension, what dimension are we getting? 0.599. So it needs to come down a little bit. So we need to figure out what's stopping that from happening. So I'm going to right click. I know that there's a line in here, but that's not it. So what is stopping this from moving? Okay, as much as we want these tangents in here, let's see if that's what's causing us some trouble. Let's come back into here again and center to center. And now it's letting us put that in. Oops. Okay, so it's still not liking that. So let's double check. Maybe this one is a problem. No, that's not the problem either. Let's see if there's another tangent in here. Tangents seem to be causing us some trouble here. Okay, so we've eliminated these tangents. Let's see, maybe we wrongly assumed that this was lining up here. Let's go ahead and click here and let's delete the vertical. Let's see, 0.63. There we go. So it's important to realize that dimensions override what you think your eyes are seeing. It's very important to realize that because dimensions, they hold all. So make sure that you go off your dimensions. So let's see what our extrusion is, 1.5. So let's come up. Select it, change it to 1.5. And there we go, you guys. Here is your 4.8 model.